In the United States, a significant issue that needs to be addressed is police corruption. Some law enforcement officials corrupt themselves financially by stealing money from drug dealers and even engaging in drug selling themselves. Some people make an effort to hide their own acts of violence, including murder and even torture, which they have committed in the past. Corruption in the police force occurs in every major city in the United States, including New York, Los Angeles, New Orleans, and it's committed by officers of every race, creed, and color. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be looking at the 5 most evil cops in history. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. Number 5. Louis EPPOLITO and Stephen CARACAPPA. Both Louis EPPOLITO and Stephen CARACAPPA pretended to work for the New York Police Department (NYPD), but in reality, they were employed by the Mafia. CARACAPPA was a member of the Organized Crime Homicide Unit, which was looking into the activities of the exact persons that he was employed by. The two men, who had previously worked together, took orders from the members of the Lucchese crime family, from whom they worked as hitmen and as informants within the New York City Police Department. EPPOLITO and CARACAPPA were found guilty of racketeering, obstructing the administration of justice, extortion, as well as 8 charges of murder and conspiracy in the year 2006. Number 4. Joseph Miedzianowski. Joseph Miedzianowski was a police officer in Chicago who was known for being the most corrupt of the force. Miedzianowski was a police officer and a drug kingpin, and he used his extensive knowledge of the underworld and the gangs that operated in it to intimidate drug merchants. Miedzianowski spent the majority of his 22-year tenure directing the Chicago Gangs unit while also running his own drug gang at the same time. His career spanned a total of 22 years. In 2001, Miedzianowski was found guilty on all 10 of the charges against him, including drug conspiracy and racketeering. Number 3. David Mack and RAFAEL PEREZ. David Mack and RAFAEL PEREZ worked together for the LAPD Rampart Division. In addition, both David Mack and RAFAEL PEREZ were employees of Death Row Records and members of the Bloods gang. Mack would be awarded the Medal of Honor by the Los Angeles Police Department for the shooting of a narcotics dealer who had allegedly drawn a gun on them. In the future, though, he was also found guilty of robbing a bank and become a suspect in the slaying of the rapper, the Notorious B.I.G. During his time with the LAPD, Perez was accused of shooting and framing an unarmed member of a rival gang, as well as stealing 8 pounds of cocaine from an evidence locker. Number 2. John Burge. Between the years of 1972 and 1991, John Burge, a veteran investigator with the Chicago Police Department, oversaw the torturing of hundreds of black males, which ultimately led to their making false confessions. Burge would electrocute suspects' testicles and burn their bodies with radiators and cigarettes if they were caught. In spite of the fact that Burge's crimes were covered by the statute of limitations, he was found guilty of lying about torture in January of this year and sentenced accordingly. Number 1. Robert GISEVIUS, Kenneth Bowen, and Anthony VILLAVASO. During the time that the Hurricane Katrina was raging, officers Robert GISEVIUS, Kenneth Bowen, and Anthony VILLAVASO served with the New Orleans Police Department. They were charged with first-degree murder for the death of 17-year-old James Brissett, who was an innocent bystander and was not armed when he was killed on the Danziger Bridge during Hurricane Katrina. Brissett was not doing anything more than trying to find refuge from the hurricane when authorities pounced on him. In the conspiracy to cover up the shooting, Bowen, GISEVIUS, Balkan, and VILLAVASO were found guilty of forging reports and false prosecution, and they stand the possibility of being sentenced to death for their crimes. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned!